Comments, call us 888-855-2297. Email radio2@dallascowboys.net. We got a call from Barry in Shreveport. Barry, what up?
No, this is CC from Louisiana. CC Camaro.
Louisiana. All right. Sorry for the
Derek,
mix-up.
How you doing?
Thanks.
Guys, listen, Derek, I love this new lineup you got.
Awesome.
No offense, Steve Dennis, but, you got to go young, man. That's what it is. That's
what I've been trying to say.
Man, I agree with that.
All right,
anyway,
cool.
There's some Louisiana love going on there. There's Louisiana love going on there.
Well, I know me and Steve fight it out a lot. You know that. But anyway, I don't know if this is a question I should direct toward Nick or probably TJ would have a better idea. I hear that this is not that deep of a draft. And if it isn't, and we're picking at 27, I think the Cowboys are probably just going to trade back. But do you think it's that deep of a draft? And I think that's all I got, guys. So,
all right, thanks a lot for the call.
Thanks.
Let me throw out one thing, and Brian brought this up on our last show, and I thought it made a whole bunch of sense. He's like, honestly, when you look at a draft board, and you guys have, you know how NFL teams do draft boards, particularly this team. Really, once you get beyond 17, 18, most teams' first-round grades for players are typically end around 17, 18. That's usually the number of players that they would have a first-round grade on. So what the Cowboys are really working with here in this draft is they're really drafting a round behind, but they're having to do it early because of the number of players they have on their board, if that makes sense.
It does.
They have grades for in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever round.
And it's early, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I don't get the impression that this is as deep. Maybe, and the great thing for them, since they pick later, is that I think there's more depth as you get later. There's probably guys that you feel great about taking in the third or fourth round. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
But we talked to Dane Brugler about this on the draft show last week. Just as a reference point, DeMarcus Lawrence, they took him 34th. Mm-hmm. I think he goes way earlier if he was a senior in this draft. Yeah, just that type. The star power in your first 32 picks, I don't think is the same as last year. When you think about the Odell Beckhams and the Barrs and the Donalds, I don't think those guys are there. Mm-hmm. Not to say that this is a bad draft all the way through. This is not a star-studded first round. I don't think. How many rookies did we see light the league on fire this year? 6 or 7?
This might turn out to be that last year's draft may turn out to be a really, really.
I don't think that the first round star power is there, but I do think there will be good value.
What I want to see is mock draft start. I mean, you can get a 2016 mock draft. So
yeah, I mean that's not even an exaggeration.
Where was Beckham at this point last time? I mean, there's no
That's a really good point, because
there's a good mock draft that you might trust. I like that WalterFootball.com.
Yeah.
I thought they have a really good site, a lot of information on that site. They have good mock draft there. There's a third round pick, probably somewhere in the third round,
100%,
who'll be a top 15 pick in the draft.
Before
it happens.
Before he went to Indy and ran like a 4.3, Beckham was anywhere you could find him first to third.
Okay.
Even. Yeah.
So especially
now
he's taking over the league.
We've seen all these. We've seen the seniors. We went down to Mobile. There's a boat. I mean, I think there's 76 or 80 juniors who we really haven't gotten to see since they don't have a game like that.
I didn't say this early about the position at 27. It's a pretty interesting spot for the Cowboys. And if you go back a couple years ago at 31, why they drafted Frederick when everyone thought, well, they could just get him in another round. They didn't want to get him in another round. And now, what a great move that is. Because if you would have got him in the second round, next year, we're talking about he's going to be a restricted free agent. Now he's had a 5-year deal. He's got 3 more years. Not even thinking about Frederick right now. Mm-hmm. So if I'm at 27, based off this team, I'm getting me a freak player. I'm getting me an athlete. Is he raw? Probably, or he would have gone higher. Receiver, like a Cordell Patterson type of player. I'm not saying you need a receiver, but I mean just a freak player that needs some years, because you get him in the first round at 5-year deal. Mm-hmm. You got some room to. That's a good point.
I'm going to sell you on Quentin Rollins during the spring.
Is that the basketball player who played
cornerback from Miami, Ohio, who played basketball?
There you go.
Yeah.
Is he that good of a first round?
Dayton has him pegged in the late first. Dayton has him
going. Is he long like a basketball, like a traditional basketball player?
Like 6'1".
But he's long. I mean, like long arms, that kind
I
of
don't
thing.
know his measurements. I talked to the guy. He's really impressive, and the fact that he only played 1 year of college football makes him even more impressive because he led the MAC in picks from 1 year of experience.
Yeah, because if you just have 1 year at the position, I mean, the Cowboys typically don't like to get that kind of guy, Wilcox.
You can come in and start.
Yeah, you
Just
could.
make a trend out of it. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let's take an email.
We have David Miller on Twitter.